Greetings, fellow Canadians and people of the city of Edmonton. A happy New Year to you. My name is Derek Thompson. I am the co-founder of Save Elephant Foundation in Thailand, where together I work with my wife, Lek Chilert, in the rescue and rehabilitation of captive working elephants. At Elephant Nature Park in northern Thailand, we have almost 100 elephants, most of whom have come to us in very poor condition, being old or sick, lame, blind, injured, requiring medical care, and needing a reprieve, certainly, from a life of overwork and harm. Of almost all elephants that I have transported to a new life in sanctuary, health, healing, recovery is patent and remarkable. They are our most resilient animal. I'm talking to you from Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary, where we received into our care the bull elephant in front of you here now, named Kavan. He was sent to us after the closure of a zoo in Islamabad, Pakistan. He has been there, for the most part, solitary all of his life, 37 or so years, having been taken away from his family at a very young age in Sri Lanka. He has been called the world's loneliest elephant, and certainly his forced isolation has been traumatic for him. An elephant, for any animal, but for an elephant confined to a life of boredom in a sterile and unnatural environment, is soul-crushing. Stereotypical behavior helps them to cope with the mental anguish. Kavan would spend many long hours leaning his head against a wall, suffering from severe depression. His body is in fair condition. His feet require attention, as spending so many years on concrete. He was overweight and his diet principally poor, fed sugarcane most of his life. He's now consumes an elephant's food, having no affinity prior to that to consume what would be typically highly desirable. But his diet now is fresh cut grass and some treats as apples and carrots, melons, cucumbers, banana stalk. He has physically become a far more healthy elephant, reflected in his stools as well. More importantly, by the end of the first week after having him with us, his rocking behavior had almost stopped entirely. Now, after 1 month with us, he walks with a clear confidence, and there is a light and life in his eyes. He also has the opportunity to socialize with 3 female companions, not yet at close proximity. That will take some time, but we are making adjustments, and they're getting to know each other, and that is his time now. It is what we call a life of quarantine for the time being. He's now lives in this 3/4 acre area, while his 15-acre forest home is being prepared for him. As well as a giant pool we have at this facility at Cambodia Wildlife Sanctuary. There's no flowing river as at Elephant Nature Park, but we're making him a giant pool so that he can share that space with his newfound friends. At Elephant Nature Park, for our older elephants, always we provide a therapy pool to deal with issues, chronic foot care, hip, leg, joint problems, to take the weight off of their bodies so that they can have a moment's reprieve from the suffering of arthritic or otherwise condition. For Kavan, he's been gifted the life of an elephant again. It was always his birthright. And it's time for us to realize in 2021 that it is moral and unjust to incarcerate a highly intelligent, sentient, and social animal to a life of despair. Zoos are espoused as educational facilities. But what is it that we are teaching our children? That it is okay to take a child from her family, to harm them physically and mentally, isolated from their own kind, to transport them around the world to locations so foreign with inclement and unwelcoming weather? On that note, at Elephant Nature Park, many of our older girls truly feel the cold, and this is Thailand. In our winter season, an old elephant will visibly shake. All of our girls have their own coats for this season. as well as fireplaces in their shelters. I think if we learned anything from this past year, one might speak of how difficult it has been for us to be separated from family and loved ones, how important to us is friendship, how difficult to socially distance, and how grateful and enriching for that great good in our lives. Imagine the elephant. How important to them as a herd animal to be together with their families, for a female particularly in a matriarchal society, and bonded for life to the care and protection of their young. To be left in solitary confinement for a human causes great emotional and mental problems. It is no different for an elephant. The elephant does not belong in captivity, but for those that suffer that fate, it is our duty to right the wrongs of the past and give back to them as natural a life as possible, a life of sanctuary. I have seen such incredible transformations in the rescue of old elephants, falling down and ready to die, but recovering to health in body, in mind. When given the substance of their physical and emotional well-being, a natural life that fosters friendship at last with their own kind, that is the healing point. If it is said by zoo medical professionals that Lucy is too sick and unable to be transported anywhere, I would suggest that an independent examination be required, as I have transported many elephants in far worse condition, only to see their lives blossom in our park. It is time to give Lucy the opportunity to walk wherever she should choose and with whomever she should fancy as her friend. It is the right thing to do. Send Lucy to sanctuary. When we liberate others, we find both strength and hope, also for ourselves. I want to thank you for the time to listen to me, and blessings of health on all of you in this new year. Thank you.